Hey, welcome to Entitled Gamers. My name's Shiz. This is Herc, and he bitches about Fortnite for about 45 minutes.
Battle Royales. So Ubisoft has their new one. What HyperScape, right? That's what it's called.
Yes, sir.
It's Battle Royales, but vertical. So are players sick of Battle Royales, or is this the trend that never ends? What do you think? Hit me with your thoughts.
Well, I think in the term of competitiveness and repetitiveness, Battle Royales check a lot of those boxes. I mean, if you think about the play cycle, the play loop of Battle Royales, it's if you're competitive and there's like a mountain to climb, then Battle Royales are quick, easy, get in there. If you die, you load back up, you go again. And there's not a lot of investment versus reward kind of offsetting ratios there, so people probably are more inclined to do it. Um, do I think we are tired of them? I don't know. As long as there's ideas kind of being added or shaken up to a point where it's not the same game with just a different skin. Like you mentioned the verticality of this game, and I watched a couple of streamers play it, and it looks actually it's pretty entertaining. It's super fast paced. It's even more fast than what Apex was, and Apex when it hit the scene was blindingly fast speed compared to Fortnite and PUBG and I don't think COD was on the scene at that point. But
They had a battle royale mode in Black Ops 4, so they were on this. It wasn't.
oh, that's right, they had that first one, but then
Yeah,
Warzone is their baby. Okay, got it.
yeah. Warzone. Black Ops 4 walked so Warzone could run basically.
Okay. Well, I think from a development standpoint, they're pretty easy to crank out because you're dealing with one map, basically. And I would say the way that guns are used, depending on, and that's one thing that Hyperscape does uniquely different than the other ones, is there's like a base, from what I understand, there's a base amount of guns, but you get the same copy of that gun and then you can upgrade, and then each upgrade or fusion creates a stronger version of that gun. Whereas in previous games, you've had either you get a base gun and you add attachments, or you get the rarity scale, from like green being common to orange being legendary or epic or whatever the game decides to call the highest tier of weapon. So you see them try to get the player base to chase a specific type of weapon in that regard. Well, what Hyperscape does is you just fuse these together, and then like your fourth or fifth fusion, you have the fully quote unquote leveled up version of the gun. I think I heard an example of the sniper rifle once it's fully leveled up is like a one shot kill. So I mean,
That's actually kind of cool.
it's actually really unique, and that's what I'm saying is if they continue to add, twist, change, morph, whatever you want to call it, revolutionize to an extent, or at least keep the player base satiated or interested in some form of change or some form of improvement, then they're going to be around for a long time because the competitive nature is there. Gamers are flocked to these things. Personally, I'm more of a PvE player than a PvP player. That doesn't allure to me as much. And I also see, I don't know if I'm just blind to it because I'm not blind to it because I'm not competitive, but I see how the player loop is very, very monotonous. It's the same thing over and over again. Sure, you may die over on this side of the map as opposed to that side of the map, or you may win over there as opposed to over here, but at the end, it's the same thing. And the only thing that really changes is the people you go against, the people you play with, and then any sandbox changes they make to the game. And that's not a story for me. I need something that, like, why am I fighting? What am I fighting for? What's my character story? I look for more depth in the characters that the avatars that I run around in the digital space with. So that doesn't appeal to me. But from a not visit from a spectator standpoint, it is pretty entertaining. And they've done some really cool things with regards to chat integration. Like periodically throughout a match, you'll see a side, if they have the extension hooked up to their channel, that you'll see things come across like you get to vote for the next, I forget what they call it, but for X amount of time, there's moon gravity, or for X amount of time, there's infinite ammo, or there's you drop a supply package, but everybody in the media area sees it, or just these little
Mm.
things that chat can vote on, which creates a level of interactivity that keeps the viewer base as well as the streamer engaged. So it's definitely different and new, super fast paced. Verticality is key. I've seen a lot of people jump up and down and slam, and I mean it's entertaining. I mean, if you haven't seen it, I would suggest you hop in there and check it out.
I saw the clip of it from the Ubisoft Ford event. That's all I've seen
Yeah.
of HyperScape. So, you're basically saying the exact same thing I was gonna say, which sucks because I came into this going like I'm gonna subvert your expectations because I was expecting you to argue that we're tired of it. Now I kind of want to be intentionally contrarian just for the shit of it, but and I was going to actually when we first talked about this topic, I was gung ho ready to argue that people are tired of battle royales. This genre sucks. Then I went, and I did my research. I looked at some stats, some Steam stats and player stats and stuff like that, and it's hard to argue that. Me personally, I'm freaking tired of them. Holy crap, I'm tired of battle royales. It's like you said. To me, there's no progression, right? You can buy the season pass and unlock the stuff, but you're playing the same map over and over and over again. It's just tedious to me. I get that people enjoy it, but I mean honestly, other than Fortnite, we are seeing a downward trend in battle royales and the concurrent players that they're having. PUBG, the January after it came out, it broke Steam's concurrent player record with 3.2 million concurrent players that January. It hasn't broken a million in the last year, and it's sitting steadily at like 500,000. So PUBG has kind of gone down. Apex Legends has gone down not as much. What was that? What was that one from Blazinski from
Oh,
Radical
oh,
Heights?
Radical Heights. Yep.
That one was terrible. And so
I I like the art style from that. I thought that
yeah.
was very unique and creative.
Did
But
you
yeah,
actually
it was
see like
poorly
gameplay
executed.
though? Like what they
Yeah.
could have done if they put effort into that game. But dude, it felt like a Hail Mary. Like, dude, you would walk into buildings and it was literally just a gray block. It didn't even have furniture or anything. It was literally just like a frame, a gray frame for a building. It was just, and I feel like that kind of is the curse of battle royale, is that the good ones are few and far between, and that there's a lot more people who are just trying to cash in on a trend than there are people who are trying to make good battle royale games. And when Ubisoft first announced HyperScape with during the Ubisoft Ford event, that's kind of the conversation I was seeing on Twitter, is that HyperScape looks cool, but at the end of the day, it's just another battle royale, and that's kind of what sparked my interest in wanting to talk about this. Is because it kind of seemed like the sentiment was that people are getting sick of it, but that's just not the case. Damn, I wish it was.
Well, and to reiterate what I said before, as long as they keep making it interesting, once it gets stale, then the people will walk. The thing, well, first to go to add on to what you said, you mentioned like PUBG. Well, what was it? Was it DayZ, King of the Hill, or something like that? That kind of was like the first BR on the scene, way, way, way back in the day, and then came along. Player unknown's battlegrounds, and the thing is those kind of pioneered the field, and a lot of these bigger companies saw that the attention that they were getting was driving revenue, and then they kind of watched them for a little bit, took notes, and then they started making their own form of it, like you said, the Call of Duty, before you can walk you can run, and all that stuff. They were really kind of getting an idea before they put the serious backing that like Epic has, or that Ubisoft has, so that they can get
Right.
these higher quality games. Now, I will say, from a visual standpoint, HyperScape is not that impressive. It is not a over the top graphically intensive game. It is not impressive. A lot of the same assets, uh, a lot of the reused assets is what I'm trying to say. A lot of reused assets. The interior of every building looks the exact same. There's several key landmark structures around the map that stand out. But I mean, those are visual references when you're flying in, as well as everything when you're jumping around the city. But the thing is they kind of cover that up because you fly through it so fast. You don't have time to notice that you've
Mm.
seen the same stairwell 17 times if you're going Mach 2 through it. You know what I mean? And the fact that you're flying through it and you're focused on this super quick hyper scape version of this game, it draws the player's attention to a very quick, fast-paced game that is very adrenal happy. It gets the blood flowing. And I will say that they've done some really unique things with regards to the weapon system and the way that the overall battle royale format works. That's very interesting, and that's what you got to do to keep it alive.
Yeah, I think innovation is key if you're gonna do a battle royale game. But honestly, I think the biggest thing you see when you look at the stats is that uh, battle royale players are they have a lot of brand loyalty. It's very tough to get them off of Fortnite or PUBG. You know, they're gonna or Apex. Apex was kind of it disrupted those two, but really you just got the big three, right? And then you
Yeah.
have a whole ton of other ones that came out and never really made it because they couldn't. I just hit my monitors. They couldn't get players off of those three games, and I don't know if Hyperscape's gonna do it or not. It's got backing from Ubisoft, so it's got a huge company behind it. So maybe it stands a chance, and Ubisoft wants to have their skin in the battle royale game so that they can sell skins. But time will tell on that one. It's tough to get people off of Fortnite. They're still setting records with their players, which blows my mind. That game, but
I think one thing that we need to also address is just how much of not a hidden, but not really in the forefront driver of BRs is live streaming. The live streaming world. I mean, think about how much popularity Fortnite got and has, but think about what it would be or where it would be if we didn't have what Ninja did to that entire game, what the streaming base did in pushing the popularity of that game and that game type further and further and further. I mean, it's a very entertaining.
dude, honestly, I don't think it would be popular. I don't think battle royals would. I don't battle royals. I don't think battle royales would have taken off if streaming didn't exist. It's very watchable content, right? Because every
Mhm.
match, even though it's on the same map, it's not the same match. Every single match
No.
is different. There's that element of luck. There's that element of the unknown when you come up against someone. So you could encounter someone and then those two people decide to work together, and you could work together the entire time, and then this dude betrays you at the end. You could come up against someone and they fight you immediately. Like it's very human,
Mhm.
psychologically speaking, because you're just coming up against people. So that is why they're so watchable, is because as much as I love the classic arena shooters like Halo and stuff like that, eventually the matches kind of all become samey. You're just doing the same thing, just pop, 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 popping heads the whole time. And so
Yeah.
there's just that element of randomness to a battle royale that other games can't quite capture as well. And honestly, I think one of the better things about battle royale that makes them watchable, oddly enough, is the fact that it's not on all the time. Right? There's times where you're just walking across the map, going into buildings and getting stuff, and those are the times that you can actually kind of sit there and interact with your chat.
Yeah, for sure.
Whereas in like a Halo match, you're on all the time. You got to be focused.
Yeah.
So yeah, battle royales are extremely watchable content. It blew up on Twitch. It blew up on Mixer. Fortnite did. So I honestly don't see those games having taken off as well as they did without the component of live streaming.
Yep. Yep, exactly. Because like in those lulls, in those times between matches, the streamer can really inject their own personality and create their own show.
Right, and it's also kind of, well, I don't know. I want to say that when a streamer, or when you get to play in a match with someone, that it's more cooperative, it's more personal than just playing a Halo match, and the streamer going off and getting a 5.0 KD and being like, all right, see you later.
Hmm.
You're getting to run around with them and do stuff with them and trade guns with them and stuff like that. But at the end of the time, at the end of the day, geez, if I could talk, at the end of the day, they're still going to carry you,
Yeah, for sure.
So it both is and is not more personal. I would still say it is, I think.
You're trying so hard to disagree with me. I like it.
I can't, though. People aren't tired of them. It sucks.
I think personally, you are. I know I'm not a big PvP person, so I'm not really invested into them. I don't really watch them. The only thing, what's funny is I like the idea of the live events that Fortnite does. I think those are incredible. Those are really ingenious ways to bring in a player base and unite them for a split second, and then immediately have them turn on each other after a concert or whatever. But it's something that's different, like what we talked about. It's something unique. It's something that we haven't seen before. So of course, there's a lot more people involved and interested in it.
I don't know. You did make it seem like what, HyperScape, is that the name of the game?
Yeah, yeah.
You do make it seem like it's. I mean, the way you're describing it, it sounds okay. Is it also free to play?
Yes,
Interesting. Apex is free to play too, right?
they all are.
Apex, I think. Well, Warzone is probably the most polished one that I've seen. You know what it is? Is Fortnite. Fortnite's graphics. It never really appealed to me.
Well, I mean, it's very cartoony, but that's you look at how the dances and their quote unquote story and their skins, like they're going for that over the top, not quite as raunchy as what Borderlands is, but that type of humor. And
Yeah,
they're trying to
but a little bit
capitalize
more
on.
kid friendly.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I was gonna say. They're trying to capitalize on the younger audience and not make it too graphic. Because like I don't even think you see blood in that game.
No, I don't think you do. It's like puffs of smoke or something.
Yeah, I mean, you get your reticle indicator whenever you hit something, and like you get your HUD,
Yeah.
whenever you're getting hit, but you don't see blood. You look at Warzone and I mean, Call of Duty in general. You get the jelly on the screen. That was synonymous with Call of Duty. When you take too much damage, you get the jelly on the screen, or in PUBG, you'd see blood splatter. I mean, you'd at least see sprays to show that you hit somebody. You wouldn't necessarily see maybe trails of it on the ground. But did you ever play the Save the World version, the PvE version?
No, I didn't.
It was pretty good. I jumped in on Fortnite when I saw that, and then they launched the BR, and I was like, meh. Like I bought the whatever the primo edition for the
Like the
Save the
Founder
World.
Edition or whatever
Yeah,
when it first came out.
and it was fun.
Yeah, see, I actually almost did as well. When it first came out, I thought that the Save the World was what that game was. And actually, fun fact, funny enough, that's what the game was supposed to be, was just the Save
Yep.
the World mode. And then PUBG exploded, and they were like, hey, what if we did that too?
Yep.
And the rest is history. Because they really nailed the monetization, where PUBG didn't.
Hmm. Well, they made it really clean.
Yeah, well, yeah. PUBG definitely had like a shitload of bugs.
Well, yeah, and of course they did that. They already had the graphic assets from the game that they could just put that in. So when you load it up and it looks clean, it looks smooth, it looks like a proper AAA title game, as opposed to you go over to look at PUBG and you got grainy graphics, and you can tell it's a game that was made by significantly less people, and it's not as optimized, it's not as smooth.
Well, sure, yeah. PUBG's an amateur dev team.
But I mean, it came out of a mod. It came out of a skin over another game.
You know what? You know why PUBG lost that fight? In my opinion, because they have a price tag.
Yeah,
You have to buy PUBG.
yeah,
It's like $30, I think,
I think yeah.
and it always was. they kind of still. I mean, this was, they were the first big actual standalone battle royale game. So
But when they did that, when they put the price tag on their box, all the other games had price tags on their boxes.
no, I know, yeah, they went with the old model, and that's why, or the model. That's why Fortnite kicked their ass, because Fortnite was like, let's do that, but let's make it free, and then we'll make all of our money on microtransactions. And boy,
And the sorry saps that bought the Save the World editions.
I didn't. I almost bought it, but I didn't personally buy it. It just, it was. What I was gonna do is I was gonna buy the most expensive one, and give away free copies on stream, and I had no idea how huge that game was gonna be. I eventually didn't do that, obviously, because no one knows who I am. But yeah, I think that's where they won, was making it free.
Yeah, for sure. It was a market. It was a price model that nobody had seen before, or not really.
Yeah,
So
you gotta hand it to them.
they pioneered it.
See, I feel like I should explain why I hate Fortnite, because
It is banned in our Discord.
it is banned in our Discord. It absolutely is. It's banned in my stream chat too. And there's a reason for that. I hate Fortnite because of what it did to other games. I don't hate Fortnite, the game. Honestly, I don't really hate Battle Royales. The gameplay doesn't really appeal to me, and I don't really have a lot of interest in them, and I hate seeing so many of those games just keep coming out, and so many people being like, the single player campaign is dead, when I love single player games. I love story driven single player games, and I don't want to see those die, and they're not going to. But the reason I hate Fortnite is that when Fortnite came out, it's free to play, and then they get the season pass, and they got the skins, and then they start making money hand over fist, tons of money from the season pass, from the skins. Everybody in the gaming industry did a double take, and we're like, whoa, what the heck? How are they making so much money? And then every single game was like, we should do that. So now all these games are getting season passes. All of them are getting ridiculously overpriced skins. And it's terrible. It kind of goes back to our first episode about how games monetize and how expensive a game really is, because a game isn't $60 anymore. And it hasn't been $60 for 5 years. And it's because of stuff like this. And now it's kind of reaching a point of being absurd, because people are trying to copy that Fortnite model. And some of the people that are trying to copy that Fortnite model are people that charge money for their games, and it's not as appropriate there. So that's why I hate Fortnite, because it did that.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
And it's not really fair to blame Fortnite for it, but I do.
No, I mean, suits are gonna go for their money any way they can, and somebody came up with this idea, and
It's crazy.
it freaking took like a wildfire, and now everybody's doing it. I can't blame them.
No, I can't either. They want to make money, and they need to make money.
And when that pie is so big, I mean, even a sliver of that pie, you're raking in a gajillion dollars.
The problem is sometimes I feel like they do it to the extent that it has a negative impact on the quality of the game.
I mean, if you focus on it, for sure. But if you're a 12-year-old kid who sneaks his mom's credit card, you don't have a care in the world. It doesn't bother you. You just want that whatever backpack thing or whatever. So,
Right.
I mean, it's to you and I who are hardworking people and understand the value of dollars. And, if I want to spend $50 on a game, I don't want to spend an additional $20 each month to play it or feel like I'm, part of it.
Well, not just that. I don't mind having microtransactions. Micro, mind you.
Yeah, for sure.
I see the need for them. I understand their purpose in the gaming sphere. What I mean when I say that I feel like that kind of structure can be a detriment to some games is when a game implements that sort of monetization and then prioritizes it above all else, to the point that they stop really doing anything else. And you know exactly what game I'm talking about right now. And that's kind of what we see sometimes, is that the rest of the game gets neglected in favor of shoving this system in your face to try and get you to shell out as much money as possible.
Yeah, and unfortunately, in these types of games, it's so easy to just release a barrage of skins and
Yep.
weapon types, and I mean, it gets.
It's super easy to do it. Yeah. And then charge $20 for it. and now you're
Yep.
raking in some dough. So, yeah, I mean, that is why Hurricane's Fortnite, to put it into that tangent. But as far as people getting tired of battle royales, they aren't. They aren't.
No.
Maybe people are getting tired of PUBG because their player numbers are taking a bit of a hit.
Well, they've had some kind of shaky, I mean, between developer issues and I mean, every game has at least one episode of the fan base is pissed and they come out and do something that the fan base doesn't like, or everybody has these ups and downs and peaks and valleys with regards to the lifespan of their game. And I mean, that's where it's hard to keep these games going, because how do you keep a game that was released almost a decade ago relevant today? Um, Without designing an entirely new game. I mean, if you don't have the budget for that, like the Call of Duty series obviously does, Ubisoft obviously does, they can launch a new BR every 4 to 5 years if they wanted to. But some of these smaller companies, I don't know if Bluehole, or I don't know who owns uh Player Unknowns now, but the thing is it's just.
Isn't it just the PUBG Corporation?
Is it? I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't keep up with it. I know that some people were. It's been handed around a couple times, from what I understand.
Yeah, I can't say I follow it that much. I played it when it first came out for a little bit, but that was back when
Yeah.
I was on console, and it was just such a terrible experience. I've played it a couple times on PC, and it is a lot better. Not better enough to get me to,
Yeah.
play it, but I don't know. I really want people to get tired of them so that we start seeing new games.
Well, you're just gonna see the next thing that is gonna be a season pass or whatever. I mean, BRs are gonna be around forever, dude. They're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, they are. It is crazy. Think about it. It feels like they've been here forever, right? PUBG came out 2 years ago.
Now, well, hold up. That was the official launch. It was in beta or whatever forever.
Okay, it's
Before
been
then.
4 years tops.
Well, then you also got to take into consideration the ones before BR. It was like King of the Hill and.
No, I'm talking like it's been 4 years tops that Battle Royale has existed. I mean, it was what Hunger Games that kind of spawned. So Hunger Games comes out, and then Minecraft was actually the first Battle Royale game. Before Minecraft kind of exploded, there was a Hunger Games server on there, and then a bunch of people started making Hunger Games servers to do that Battle Royale thing. And then I think it was DayZ. DayZ started as an Arma 2 mod, and then you had a Battle Royale mod for Arma 2. DayZ became its own thing, and then Player Unknown made Player Unknown's Battlegrounds the mod for Arma 3, I think it was. So this was in like 2016, 2017. And then right around that time, I might be wrong. I think it came out. PUBG came out in 2017, not 2018. I was wrong there. And then January of 2018 was when they broke the Steam record.
Gotcha.
But right around that time, a little bit before that, towards the end of 2016, Division launched Survival Mode, which at the time I didn't even know that was Battle Royale. Dude, straight up, I balled on Survival Mode. In fact, I would go back and play the crap out of it right now. That was awesome. Survival Mode was my jam. It was so good. But it had a huge game around it, right? It was a mode. It wasn't the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've been around for like 4 years, maybe 5. They haven't been around for that long, but they just kind of took over.
Yeah, they definitely have. Well, they're, like I said, it's more of a blueprint. You just kind of design around it and innovate and mass produce. It's not a hard game. It's not a hard game to make. It's like a format. I mean, they're gonna be around forever.
Yeah, I'm
So,
just not gonna blame.
it's like COVID-19. It's gonna be around forever, man.
You know what I think it is? I think it's because gaming itself is exploding, right? So you've got a bunch of people who like gaming and want a game, but don't have a ton of time to sink into a video game. They don't have time to grind their way through the light levels of Destiny. They don't have their time to, play a 30-hour story like Last of Us. They don't have time. So they want a game that they can sit down for a half hour to an hour and play it real quick and then just get right back off, you know? And that's a battle royale.
Yeah, bite-sized gaming.
Yeah, bite-sized gaming. It really is. That's what it is, and that's why it's so popular. And honestly, you don't, because you kind of run into this thing like with COD and stuff like that, where the people that sit there and no life it are gonna just steamroll you because they have the better guns. You don't have that in a battle royale. Like every
Yeah.
match is a level playing field. It's just down to you and how good you are with a controller.
Yeah. Skill and connection.
Yeah, that's the big appeal. Is that you don't have to no life it. You don't have to have a ton of time. You can just sit down, enjoy it real quick, and get off. Go do something else. At the risk of calling it casual, because it sounds like, a toxic hardcore gamer, it just is. It is a very kind of casual game type. You can play it hardcore, but I just think it kind of speaks to the casual gamers out there, of which there are a ton, and that's kind of why they're so big.
Yeah. Well, and let's take it to another world here, not world, but different sector of this conversation is, what makes them so popular, but what's one of the biggest things that plagues them? And what's the biggest struggle that BRs have to overcome in order to be successful and to live? And I think the number one thing would be cheaters.
Children.
Would
Wait,
be the
cheaters?
fact.
Yeah, cheaters.
I mean, you see a incredible amount of negative uh, press and news around, and just overall grumblings in the communities of these games, because especially more prevalent on the PC side, you see all these complaints about people, cheating and how easy it is, and if because it's free to play, you can get banned and then just VPN and get a new account and get back in there, and there's not a grind that you have to worry about, so you can get right back to it within a matter of minutes.
That's actually a great point. Because Warzone has the same problem. Call of Duty Warzone has the same problem. Tons of cheaters, free accounts, so getting banned, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's a huge problem. Any game that's free to play, it's a huge problem. And it's so tough to deal with it because, like, obviously, the armchair developers that play the game, they're just going to sit there and complain on the forums and say stuff like, "We'll just get better anti-cheat." But I mean, that's the thing, is that they have anti-cheat and they keep patching the anti-cheat to, disable the cheats that they're aware of. But it's literally just a game of cat and mouse.
Yep.
Hackers are always going to circumvent the anti-cheat and make new cheats and keep on cheating.
That's the thrill of it for the hackers.
Of course, this is really only a PC problem.
Yeah, because everything's behind the company, quote unquote, digital firewall with regards to what's going through their consoles. But the PC world, you open up you can root around under the hood a lot more, so you have access to a lot of these things that can be manipulated.
Yeah, dude, I honestly, because cheaters, it's not just battle royales. Cheaters are plugging Destiny. They're everywhere. I don't have an answer for it. That's why I don't really complain about cheaters on Destiny. A lot of people are giving Bungie shit. A lot of people give, Activision shit, and they give Epic shit. There's got a lot of shit slinging going on with regards to cheaters, and I just don't, I can't, because I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what the fix is there.
I think you nailed it. It's just going to be a constant game of cat and mouse, and the developers are going to have to the developers, publishers are going to have to up their game and secure their game tighter, and then the hackers are going to find a workaround or some exploit, and
They're always going to find a workaround.
Yeah,
they see it as a challenge.
Exactly, it's a challenge, and then you see all these companies that their focus is on carries and account recoveries, and in order to get more of those and make more money, then they've got to find the path of least resistance, which a lot of them may resort. I'm not saying they do, but a lot of them could resort to cheating and utilizing these hacks, or whatever you want to call them, these exploits.
You just brought up such a sore spot for me. Straight up, if you are the type of person that you have a website and you charge people money to account recover their account, then bleep you, bro.
Well, that's a whole nother podcast, dude. That's a whole nother show.
Oh, it is. We
tune in next week.
But yeah, I don't know. As much as I want battle royales to die a death. They're not going to. I admit defeat.
All right, that's the most resigned I've ever heard you sound in your entire life, at least that I've known you.
Dude, I've been complaining about these games for 5 years. It takes a toll. It takes a piece of you.
Just ignore them. Leave them to their corner.
It's just one of those things. It's a very visceral experience playing a battle royale, especially the first couple of times.
Yeah.
That first time you get that win, right? It's very exciting. There's not a whole lot of experiences like it in gaming. For me, the fun just kind of runs out eventually, quickly, rather.
Yeah.
Although I will say I've been playing Warzone. I do like Warzone. I have really been enjoying it. I mean, it tickles my tactical, itch. So, yeah, I've been liking Warzone. I'm not super tired of it yet, but that's probably because I don't really have as much time to casually game as I used to.
Oh, okay.
I haven't really gotten to do that. I did get irritated because I bought the Season 3 pass, and then, 2 weeks later, Season 4 came out. And, when I bought the Season 3 pass, there was no mention of, how long it had left on it. Or if there was, I was an idiot and didn't see it. So that really irked me because I was like, damn it, there goes $10. Because the good thing about their season passes, and Fortnite as well, is that if you buy the season pass and you complete it, you earn enough digital currency to buy the next season pass. So all you have to really do is buy one season pass, and then you can just get the rest of them by playing the game.
That's smart. That keeps people coming back. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Really smart. Take notes, Destiny. Or just don't do a season pass, Destiny. Better.
Well, I mean, again, another topic would be, what's more beneficial to the consumer versus the producer? Is it, or the product maker? Is it, seasonal content drops where you pay X amount for per season, or subscription based delivery? I mean, that could be another 40 minutes.
Oh, dude, that could be 2 hours.
So
It's so complicated.
But with regards to BRs, I don't think a subscription thing would work. I think they're doing it. They've got the perfect system right now with the season pass.
It works when the game's free. A season pass is not a big deal when the game is free. It's when the game's not free that it's like, all right, well, F you,
Yeah, for sure.
There's nothing wrong with that monetization scheme. I actually want to clarify that because it kind of, I guess when I was talking about why I hate Fortnite, it might seem like I hate specifically that monetization scheme. There's nothing wrong with it as long as your base game is free. Charge whatever the hell you want for your cosmetics.
Mm-hmm.
But when your base game's not free, and you're also charging for expansions, and you have a cash shop, and you have season passes, and you have a physical merch store, well, now it's getting a little aggressive.
But the internet will say you don't have to spend your money if you don't want to. That was my internet voice.
That was a good one. No, I'm just kind of trying to think of how I want it. I feel like that misses the point. That I know that that's not how you think.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like that specific rebuttal just misses the point entirely. But that's a topic for another day. Let's wrap it up.
Shut her down.
Yeah, okay. This has been Entitled Gamers. Herc and Shiz agreed again. Battle Royales aren't going anywhere. People aren't really tired of them. Just stop making bad ones. The end.
I don't want your damn season pass.
Honestly, I would never admit this publicly. But a small part of my hatred for Fortnite is because of how popular it is. Right? It blew up so fast, and you had TikTok videos of people doing Fortnite dances all over the damn internet. You know, it was just this huge thing. You know, and then the contrarian in me is just like, I hate that game.
You're an old man. That's really what it is, Herc. You're
For
just an
sure.
old. Get these damn kids dancing on my
Yeah.
digital lawn. Get the hell
Back in my day, we had Master Chief.
right. Do you know a game called Pong?
Yeah, a little bit for sure. I just, you know, especially Fortnite too. I just, for some reason, I don't like that game.